You took a big step back, and this masculine is not happy about it. Someone is in their head overthinking a conversation that you had and wondering if they said the right thing. It's like this person is wondering if they should have shared more of how they truly feel. We have the High Priest, or no, we have the Hermit and the Wheel of Fortune. This person is not wanting you to move on without them. For some reason, that has crossed this person's mind. So maybe you just had a conversation recently with this person where you either said something that triggered them, or they said something that triggered you, whatever it was. You have this person questioning if you are exiting the room, leaving the building is what's coming through. And they are not happy about it. We have the Five of Hearts. Literally, what was I just saying? They're wondering if you're moving on without them. Someone is, it's like they're heartbroken over you. This person can't believe that they let you even think about leaving, let alone leaving. I feel like this conversation is something very recent. This doesn't feel like it's been a long period of separation between the two of you. This could have been days, if not just a few weeks. But we have the Strength card. It almost feels like you're holding out. You're holding out because you know who you are. You know what you have to offer within this connection. And you're needing more from this masculine. It's almost like, and of course, divine counterparts, you both, I feel like this connection is stagnant because both of you are holding out in hopes that the other person will come forward and say something. Like both of you are hoping the other person says something. With the Ace of Hearts, like this to me is a confirmation that there is not there's no other options, especially for your person. There's no other options. There's nobody else that captures this masculine's attention the way that you do. And with the Ten of Swords, they're going to be the one to break the silence. You saw that, right? They are going to be the ones to come forward because I feel like whatever it is that they said, or just their lack of communication, it could be even appreciation, they understand that they messed up here, that they should have shown more, they should have said more, they should have done more. And I feel like you were the one who was always depleted within this connection. And I feel like when you finally chose yourself is when this masculine said to themselves, hold on, I have to be more for this person. I have to be better for her, for you. This person, I'm seeing a lot of frustration over you because it's like they know what they have to do. They know what they have to say to come forward. And I'm hearing there's like a key phrase or like a keyword that both of you use. Like, you are mine and I am yours. For some reason, that's significant here. It's almost like you've been waiting for it with the King of Swords. But they're in their ego with the Eight of Hearts. And that has you in like heartbreak energy. This person is in their ego and you are in heartbreak energy. And we have trust and the Two of Hearts and the Two of Swords coming out. You're going to undergo a transformation, though, during this time. You're going to do something that captures this, not just this masculine's attention, but also others. And I feel like it's when you are just moving on without giving a toot horn. I don't want to swear. Thank you. You moving on and moving forward and doing what you know to do to feel good, to look good in your life is bringing in your life partner. This is mating for life. This is mating for life. And there's something about trust that is so significant here. Like trusting that if this person is truly meant for you, then they will be there for you. There is somebody who is watching you from a distance. It could even be this person, but I'm seeing like somebody spying from a distance. This could even be somebody from your past with the Prince of Hearts. Whoever it is, I'm hearing communication and coming from this person. So maybe you have an ex that you've been it's like they've been popping into your head randomly for some reason, or you've been hearing their name, whatever it is. You're going to be receiving some form of communication from this person. It is going to put you in a position to have to choose. It's also going to put you in this really, really beautiful energy of Empress. of knowing your worth, of realizing that you don't have to try harder. In fact, you need to try less. That is what is going to draw in this person to you. So be prepared for communication from a past connection. I don't think it's this person. I feel like it's somebody else. Whoever it is and whatever it is, it's going to wake up something within the person who has been on your mind during this reading with the Seven of Hearts, the Nine of Hearts, and the Magician. You're getting everything you want in love. All of it. Everything that you imagined for yourself, like your highest timeline, your dream love connection. Yeah, this person is coming in to give you it all. It's like you're not even going to know what to do with all of the love. Like you're going to be so overwhelmed with it. I'm sorry. It is going to be so crystal clear that this person is all about you. You will not be questioning it. You will not be up late wondering if they're going to reach out to you. You will not be wondering through your days if they're going to reach out to you. It is going to be so overwhelming in your face, this person's love for you. Like all consuming is what I'm hearing. Divine Spirit, any last messages? The angels are giggling about something. So, fun. Dear soul, if these words have stirred something deep inside you, don't let this moment slip away. This may be more than just another video. It may be the reminder heaven knew your heart needed today. Right now, place your hand over your heart and speak these words with faith. I am chosen. I am deeply loved. I am not forgotten. God is writing a beautiful story through my life, and his promises for me will not fail. Say it again, slowly. Let every word sink into the places where fear of your once lived. Let it reach the parts of your heart that have grown tired from waiting. Keep declaring it until hope becomes stronger than your doubts and faith becomes louder than your fears. Remember this are not denials. Even when you cannot see God moving, he is working green behind the scenes, preparing blessings that are greater than you can imagine. Your story is not over. The best chapters have not been written yet. If this message touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who may be silently fighting a battle no one else knows about. Someone who feels forgotten, someone who is losing hope. Your share could become the answer to a prayer they whispered through tears. Sometimes God reaches one heart through another willing heart. And if you feel the Holy Spirit leading you to help us continue sharing these faith-filled messages around the world, you can support this ministry through a super thanks. Whether your gift is $5, $10, $20, or whatever God places on your heart, know that every offering helps carry words of hope, healing, and God's love to someone who desperately needs them. May the Lord bless you beyond anything you could ask or imagine. May he restore what you've lost, strengthen you when you're weary, open doors no one can shut, and fill your home with his peace. May every seed you sow return to you in God's perfect timing, multiplied with his abundant favor. Thank you for being part of this family of faith. Together, we are reaching hearts, restoring hope, and reminding the world that God's love never fails. There comes a moment in life that almost no one prepares you for. It is not the day someone leaves. It is the day you stop reaching for them. The silence after that feels different. It carries a strange weight. Your phone still lights up. Conversations still happen around you. The world keeps moving exactly as it always has. Yet something inside you quietly changes. You realize you are tired of carrying a love that has been resting only on your shoulders. Maybe that is where the story begins. Not with a goodbye, with a choice, a quiet, almost invisible choice to take one small step back. No dramatic speech, no slam doors, no desperate final message. Just one step back. At first, it doesn't seem important. You tell yourself you are simply protecting your heart. You decide that if someone truly wants to be part of your life, they should also know how to walk toward you. Love should not always feel like a race where only one person is running. Meanwhile, somewhere on the other side of that silence, another heart begins asking questions it never wanted to face. The last conversation keeps replaying in their mind. Every word, every pause, every sentence they almost spoke but swallowed instead. They wonder if they should have admitted how much they cared. They wonder if pretending to be strong only made them look distant. They wonder if they waited one day too long. It is strange how people often realize the value of honesty only after silence arrives. Sometimes the loudest conversation is the one that happens after everyone stops talking. For days, they carry those thoughts everywhere. Driving, working, trying to sleep, even smiling in front of other people. Nothing feels complete because every ordinary moment quietly reminds them of the one person who no longer reaches out first. Then another thought enters their mind, a frightening one. What if you are moving forward without them? That single possibility begins changing everything. Not because they suddenly stopped caring before and started caring now, but because distance has a way of removing illusion. It forces people to see what comfort once allowed them to ignore. Here is the painful truth many people discover too late. Love rarely disappears overnight. Attention does. Effort does. Presence does. And when those disappear long enough, love begins feeling lonely. You may not realize it, but there is incredible strength in choosing peace over constant pursuit. You stopped arguing. You stopped proving yourself. You stopped asking for reassurance every single day. Instead, you quietly turned toward yourself. At first, it felt empty. Healing usually does. People imagine healing as warm sunlight and beautiful mornings. Often, it feels more like sitting alone with questions nobody else can answer. You begin wondering whether you expected too much. whether you loved too deeply, whether waiting was foolish, whether letting go means giving up. But little by little, something beautiful starts happening. You wake up one morning and notice you smiled before checking your phone. Then another morning arrives where your first thought isn't about them. You laugh at something small. You make plans. You breathe easier, huh? Without realizing it, your heart begins remembering who it was before it carried so much uncertainty. And that changes everything. Because confidence has a quiet sound. It doesn't beg, it doesn't chase, it simply stands. You deserve to hear this today. You are not difficult to love simply because you finally asked for consistency instead of promises. The other person notices this change even if no one speaks about it. There is something different about your energy now. You no longer seem frozen in one place, waiting for permission to live. Instead, life begins moving with you. Ironically, this is often when people begin seeing what they almost lost. Not because you became someone new. Because you stopped hiding the person you always were, then something unexpected happens. The sadness they carried slowly transforms into urgency. They begin realizing that silence is no longer protecting their pride. It is protecting their fear of rejection, fear that they waited too long. Fear that the opportunity they assumed would always exist may no longer be there. Sometimes people confuse pride with strength. They are not the same thing. Real strength is admitting, I was wrong. Real courage sounds much quieter than ego ever does. It sounds like truth. For so long, they convinced themselves there would always be another tomorrow. Another chance, another conversation, another moment. But life has a strange way of reminding us that opportunities are precious because they are never guaranteed. Then comes the first unexpected shift. The person they feared losing is no longer the person who needs saving. That realization hits harder than any argument ever could. Because while they were trying to understand what happened, you were learning how to live again. Maybe that surprises you too. Maybe you never intended to become stronger. Maybe you simply became tired of feeling invisible. There is a difference. One creates walls, the other creates wisdom. As the days continue, your world quietly expands. People notice your smile. Your confidence feels softer. You speak differently. You carry yourself differently. Not because everything is perfect. Because you finally understand that your value was never supposed to depend on someone else's ability to recognize it. That realization changes more than your love life. It changes your relationship with yourself. It teaches you that waiting is not the same as believing. Believing gives you hope. Waiting can sometimes make you forget your own life. There is a profound lesson hidden inside heartbreak. The love you keep trying to earn from someone else often begins the moment you decide to give it to yourself. Read that again. The love you keep trying to earn from someone else often begins the moment you decide to give it to yourself. Everything begins shifting after that. You stop measuring your worth by unanswered messages. You stop counting who texted first. You stop wondering whether affection has to be negotiated. Instead, you begin asking a completely different question. What kind of love allows me to feel peaceful? That question changes your future more than any answer ever could. Then life surprises everyone, not with noise, with clarity. Someone from your past suddenly crosses your mind. A memory appears for no obvious reason. A familiar name feels strangely close again. Whether it becomes a conversation or simply a reminder, it awakens something inside you. Not longing, perspective. You realize how much you have grown. People who once knew an older version of you may not recognize the person you are becoming now. Because this version has learned boundaries. This version understands that love should never require abandoning yourself. Then comes the second unexpected shift. You thought losing them would break your heart forever. Instead, it introduced you to yourself. No one expects that ending, and yet it becomes the beginning of everything. As your heart settles into this new season, something remarkable happens. You stop fearing whichever path unfolds. If someone returns sincerely, you now know your worth. If they never do, you still know your worth. That is freedom, not certainty about another person. As certainty about yourself. You don't have to convince the right people that your heart is valuable. The people capable of loving deeply eventually recognize depth in others. The ones who cannot see and would never have been satisfied by your sacrifices anyway. So today, breathe. Not because every question has been answered, because every answer is no longer required before you choose happiness. And if you have been carrying this silent ache for longer than you admit, listen carefully. You are allowed to stop carrying it. You are allowed to smile again without feeling guilty. You are allowed to dream beyond the people who once occupied every corner of your thoughts. That is not betrayal. That is healing. Perhaps one day there will be another conversation. Perhaps there will be apologies that finally sound honest. Perhaps there will be words that arrive exactly when they should. Or perhaps life will write an even more beautiful chapter than the one you imagined. Either way, your story has already changed. Because the strongest version of you was never created by being loved perfectly. It was created the moment
you refused to abandon yourself. And maybe that has been the destination all along. Not finding someone who finally sees your worth, but becoming someone who never forgets it. So keep walking. Keep growing. Keep choosing peace over panic. Keep believing that healthy love never asks you to become smaller just to make someone else comfortable. Your heart has survived every difficult chapter it has ever faced. It can survive this one too. And one day, whether you are looking back beside someone who truly values you or standing confidently on your own, you will realize something beautiful. The moment you stepped back was never the end of your story. It was the moment your real life quietly began.